Happy Easter, everybody. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. This is my first year gardening, and I think if you've seen any of my other videos, I'm trying to update everybody about every 30 days on the progress. And I've got a bunch of dogs, so I can't very well do it without them. But anyway, my planter here with Bacopa and the feathergrasses really turned out nice. I was worried that this is between the neighbor's house and mine, and it's an east side garden, and I worried that it wasn't going to get enough light, especially up here, but it seems to be doing okay. I'm not really sure about my wisteria vine. This has not come out of its dormancy yet. It's still looking rather dead, although, let's see if I can get that to focus. Although, I don't know. I guess I'll just wait and see what happens. But, just in case it died, I found some of these concrete tubes in an alley down the street from me, and she was also, the woman that put them there was also getting rid of all of the aloe vera, so I brought it back and tried underplanting a little bit. And if this doesn't make it, I think I'm going to try maybe some hardy kiwi vine or some passion vine. I don't know. I think it maybe gets too much shade for the passion vine, but anyway, move, you guys, come on. This is a side bed that I had built about a year ago. Michael Pierce, one of my neighbors, did this for me, and he's so talented, and it looks awesome. But I don't think I originally had herbs and veggies and stuff in here, but I don't think that gets enough light, so I'm kind of replacing things out with, I don't know, little fun stuff like violets and licorice plant and Tahitian gardenia. That's new, and that just opened. Can you see it? There we go. Look how pretty that is. It smells amazing. So we've got mint and kale and celery, yada yada, but I don't know. The dill turned out great. It seems like it's looking good. That made it up really tall. And then across from there, I've got, well, this is all cat's claw up here, and it's actually just starting to bloom. There's one little bloom up there. You can see that. But I planted Queen Anne's lace this year, which came from the Midwest, and this grew all over in the ditches and alongside all of the fields. So buying it in a container at the store and paying money for it was kind of a joke. But I did it anyway, and I think it looks good. The salvia, it's looking really good. I got a little lizard friend here that I spied. Let's see if you can see him. There he is. I'll tell you, since I put this garden in, there are so many lizards here. Oh my gosh. I did some coleus in there. Like I said, I'm trying to phase out maybe some of the herbs and veggies, but we'll see. Anyway, this basket, get out of there, Eve. This whole planting here, I just love the digitalis and little petunias. I forget the name of these, but this is night sky, and I love these so much, and they just keep going. And I planted little morning glories here to see if if they would grow. I remember them from the Midwest, but I don't know how well they're going to turn out in Phoenix once the heat hits. Tomatoes here and here. Oh my gosh, you got to check this out. Look how big this tomato is already. Everything's only been in since January 29th, so February 1st, 2 months, and wow, this guy has almost reached the top of the wall. In fact, I think he has. There's a tomato bloom right up there with the top of the wall. So, yeah, he did. And this is Sun Gold, so these should be really good. Little tiny guys, but they're supposed to be really sweet. Never had them before. This is, shoot, I always forget the name of this. I'll remember this later. This is an heirloom, and it's getting tomatoes in it too. So that's awesome. It's supposed to be purple. Got Nifofia here. It's growing really well. The birds keep eating my Swiss chard. Drives me nuts. On one of the gardening groups I'm on Facebook, they said just wait, the greens will come back. Well, they come back and the birds come back. So no bueno. Same with this. Same with the parsley. Everything else they leave alone. I just planted this earlier today, Mexican flame vine. This is supposed to be beautiful, so when the blooms open up, I'll videotape it and post it so everybody can see them, but they're supposed to be gorgeous. I got some lavender planted down there. Oh, and bronze fennel. Love that stuff. Beautiful. Here are my new bananas. So excited about these, and I know they look terrible right now, but with a little luck, they're gonna be beautiful. Another one of my tomatoes. I planted, I don't know why there's flies everywhere. I'm so good about picking up dog poop, and I still get flies everywhere. Anyway, papayas, we'll see. I don't even know if I like papayas, so I'm not really sure why I planted them, but we will see. Sunflowers. And then in this bed, in here, underneath the everything that, well, I've got two big Chinese elms in the backyard, and we mulched this year and did a bunch of compost underneath the trees, and so I kind of took that as another planting bed, and that's what I've been doing this year. So this is all the popolo that I started from seed, I think back in January, and it's growing great. And I only just read about popolo, so I had never tried it before, and it was finally big enough that I took a taste, and I get why people call it a heat-loving cilantro, although I thought it tasted quite a bit different, but I get it. I get why they say that. So anyway, that's cilantro. These are my little Mexican tarragon plants they've just been out for a few days. And then I put my purple basil. I grew all these from seed. And I put my purple basil out without conditioning it properly, and it got some sun scald on it, but it's all coming back now. I got nice new leaves that don't seem to be affected by the light at all, so can't wait till this gets all bushy. So what I'm hoping is that everything gets nice and bushy and pretty and everything, and then I can take these dopey fences down so this guy doesn't get in it. My acanthus is getting ready to bloom, and it's got a bunch of blooming specks on it too. A whole bunch. And that should look really, really pretty. Those bloom kind of a dark purple. They're really, really neat plants, and it's huge, and it's about, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old. And as soon as it gets hot, it's gonna go dormant on me, and I'll say goodbye to it until fall. My clump palm are blooming this year for the first time. They're really cool, by the way, if you've never seen them. These are palm flowers. I don't even know if it focuses. I can't tell this far back. But aren't they cool? Anyway, underneath them are some artichokes that I still have to get out of pots, and oh my gosh, they're so big now. And an eggplant, some petunias, and then my dwarf bananas. I'm excited about those. They're getting new leaves on them all the time, which is so cool. And my Lady Banks roses are going so beautiful right now. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I planted those. And I've got both colors, the white and the yellow, so the white seems to be a lot more prolific so far anyway, and the yellow, I'm getting some of those. They were the first to bloom earlier this year, but the white is definitely beating them out now. Anyway, regardless, they're beautiful, and I'm so happy I got them. Tomatoes are looking amazing. These guys got some frost damage earlier, so they're playing catch up. These guys did not get frost damage. Look at how huge they are. Oh my god. I bought Texas tomato cages. Have you ever seen these things? Look how big they are. And then promptly installed them upside down. So, sorry to Texas tomato cage. I apologize. I wasn't thinking. And now they're too big to fix. So, they'll just deal with it. Planted a guava, which is kind of cool. This is a Indian white guava. And I ate one the other day, and you know what? I don't think I like guavas, but I can give them away. These two were replacements to tomatoes that succumbed to the frost. So these are green zebras, and they've really taken off. And I got these from Susan Velarde. And the yellow summer squash, oh my gosh, I don't know how all of these squash are going to fit into this pot. It's crazy. Hey, you two, knock it off. It's these two, they play constantly. Andy and Bobo. They all play. Ugh. And I got a Kaffir lime leaf, which is doing really, really well. Oh my gosh, I got this at Costco, and I didn't even know if it was gonna make it, because I thought, boy, this little guy looks really, really sad. But I love cooking with Kaffir lime leaf, so I got one, and it has just, man alive, it put out all of this dark red foliage that just new growth, and then it turns green pretty fast, and now it's even getting little buds on it, so it must like its new home. Bush cucumbers are in little pots, and they're growing. They're getting there. I got some of the Pasilla Bajo peppers. I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. And those seem to be producing really well right now. I'm not great with peppers, so. And the other one is the same way. Getting a bunch of fruit on them. So maybe this will be a good pepper year. These are all the same variety, the variety from the other side of the yard that I can't remember, and I'll still work on remembering that. Wait, unless I put a tag in here. No, they're in the house. Purple Cherokee, that's it. Purple Cherokee tomatoes. And these guys, they're a lot smaller than the ones in the 2x2 pots. But they'll catch up, I'm sure. These are all the green zucchini. Oh my gosh, if you look in some of the other episodes, the earlier ones, they were so tiny, and now they're just, wow. I mean, look at that, that's nuts. Just a couple weeks of warm and all kinds of fruit. I can't even imagine what the yield is going to be like in here. There's all these buds and fruit is everywhere. So cool. So cool. Peppers. The banana peppers are really going to town and producing really well so far. Look at all those. And the rest of them are still growing, but they look great. So I would imagine they'll be fine. Hope so. And then this is cucumbers, eggplant, and tomatoes. And the cucumbers are another thing that have really shot up this last month. Wow, all the blooms all over them. Everything seems very happy in here. I don't know if you can see all these blooms or not, but there are a bunch. Same with the tomatoes, except the tomatoes, I've got fruit on, I think, just about every variety of tomato I'm growing this year. I don't think that there is a tomato plant that doesn't have fruit in it. And one of the coolest is the, I'm gonna probably butcher the name, the Castellino Genovese. I don't know, I can pull it up and tell you, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But these are mostly cherry tomatoes. And this is Yellow Boy that I heard was really fantastic, and so that's already got fruit. That's another Susan Velarde plant. And then Japanese cucumbers I've got vining up here and over here, and those have really taken off and started blooming too. The eggplant are getting huge, and I've got all kinds of this. All of these are little fingers, so I'm trying to see if there's one I can show you. I don't know. I had a whole bunch in here, and for all I know, the birds are getting them, because now I don't see any. So I may have to go back to screening all of this. Yeah, oh well. They'll keep growing, and they're doing fantastic. And then I've got a larger variety here. The Mizuna all went to seed, which is cool because there are bees all over it. I love them in the garden. Not so much the flies. And then I also planted behind here, between these beds and the garage wall, I planted a passion vine. And this variety is Purple Possum. So I'm hoping that that does great. And I've got another one behind the palm tree. I don't think I see it back there or not. So hopefully everything will keep growing well and filling out and making some really good food. Over on the west wall, so it's east facing, this is butterfly weed. Some fennel down there. Some tomatoes that I didn't think were going to make it because of the frost, so I put them in and they bounced right back. And then these cucumbers are the lemon cucumbers, which I'm really looking forward to trying. They're supposed to look just like lemons when you pick them, and taste amazing. So peppers, these are all gypsies. And I listened to John Kohler when he talked about clumping them together closer than you think, and so far he's right. I mean, they're nowhere near full grown, but they're filling in beautifully. Here's more purple Cherokee tomatoes. There are the girls. Look at you kids. That's Rosie in the front and George in the back. And it looks like I've got to get a cage for this one. This is a mess. I've got butternut squash here and down there. Planted underneath some new pomegranates. I think we're pretty safe for this year with the pomegranates. I don't think they're going to outgrow anything. And then some morning glories on this side to see what happens. This is my borage. This is looking really, really great. Growing like crazy. And this is a really cool variety of salvia. And I'll post what it is underneath, but in the comment section, because I can't remember it offhand, but it's super, super fuzzy. And everybody that comes over just wants to pet on it because it just feels like fur. So cool. And they've really grown great too. Got more artichokes underneath this Chinese elm. Some yarrow. But yeah, so that's the update now for Easter. I hope you have a good Easter. And I'll do another video next month. Bye.